Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm David. We got to talk about the BB23 finale. We got a winner. We got America's favorite player.
We got it all. We're done. Donezo. 85 days.
Cut.
And scene.
Yeah.
But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.
Please, please. And if you want to support us on Patreon, there's a link in the description. It's also...
Oh, that's not it. That's
there.
it. Hello.
There's that link.
You guys.
Merch. Shop the merch, you guys. Oh,
let's celebrate 85 days together.
I feel like the old lady in Titanic. It's been 85 days.
Treat yourself.
Yes.
Treat yourself.
I said to Sarah while we were watching, I was like, remember when they did 99 days? Remember that?
I do.
Yikes.
And it felt equally as long.
It did.
I guess 85 is not that much shorter because it felt so long.
It certainly
Here
did.
we are. We did it together. You guys were with us every step of the way. We love it. We appreciate it.
We do.
But let's talk about this finale.
Let's talk about it.
You know what? Overall, I liked this finale.
I did too.
Even though it was fairly predictable.
Mm-hmm.
No real shockers here.
Yeah. Well produced, I thought.
But it was well put together.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it.
Paced well.
Yeah.
I thought the energy, like without the live audience, like the
It's
energy
hard.
is what it is. But I don't know. It just felt like it wasn't dead, They figured out what to do with the graphics and the background and this and that and the other. And
yeah.
And the jury was on fire tonight. They were there to party.
When have they not?
Yeah.
They have never let us down. That jury is one of the best juries
Truly.
I can remember.
I can remember. Absolutely true.
And they did not care about your live show structure. They were just going to be like, whoop, whoop,
they didn't care about your microphone levels.
No.
They're going to scream straight into that mic.
They're going to stand up and jump. They're going to get out of their light and in their light.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to talk over each other. And now I'm okay with it. It's good energy.
It was fun. It was fun. Super fun finale. But we are starting back with some stuff that we kind of already knew, if we're
we
watching
knew
the
who was going to win part 2, but we got to watch it. We got to see why the heck Big D's knees
Big D's
ripped
knees
apart. Well, now we got to see it because apparently Azah knew to wear pants.
Yeah.
And he did not. And you had to roll the wheels. It's a slot machine.
Yeah.
But we're not pulling a lever.
No.
And we're not sitting on the side bar. I was like,
I would stand in front and move it with my hands, but it's a rule that you have to move it with your feet or your knees or something. I don't know.
I understand doing it from the top.
Yeah.
But I wish you could have just been on the bar. But I guess they just really wanted that visual of you like a hamster in a wheel.
And it's a balance kind of thing.
Sure.
It adds an extra layer to it. But yeah, Big D's struggling. His knees are getting torn up.
Yeah, I mean, they tried to make it look like both of them had a struggle. Azah didn't line them up correctly at first.
Right. And then there's also the added element of it's every answer is, for specific house guests, but not every wheel has a house guest that you need, So Azah's dealing with like, oh, I got to put Claire on this one and now I have to switch. So
that's true. That's true. We're going to get the times though. And Azah beats him by a pretty decent margin.
She does. It is like a 7-minute margin. Yeah. She's at a 13 something. He's at 20 something.
He's at 20 minutes.
So he can't win anything. That is his last chance to win.
That is official. You are done.
0 comp wins.
Seal the envelope.
Yeah. Oh, and going into it, he was like, I'll take care of it, Xavier.
Okay.
I got this.
This is his job. This was his one job. You had one job.
This is it. This was the one comp that you were going to win because you were up against one person. But no, he doesn't win that either.
And you know who else won 0 comps, guys? Dr. Bo.
Oh.
So take that stat and put it in your pocket.
What a comparison.
But one of them did it on purpose as he puppeteered all the people in the house.
Yeah.
The other one tried his darndest.
Tried.
While he puppeteered everyone in the house.
While he napped. So... Okay.
We talked about while we were watching it that I was going to play the role of Big D throughout this stream and be like, but I manipulated everybody.
Yeah. And you have to do it in that voice the entire time.
When
because
did you
it is
become
a
an
joke.
old radio host?
Yeah.
I'm from the 1920s and I'm manipulated everybody.
Yeah, you're just a parody of Big D. So I will accept a parody portrayal. But now that we've got, Xavier and Azah as the two who are competing in part 3 of our final HOH, Big D is big mad that Azah has power over him because he carried her and she owes him a seat in that final 2 sitting next to her.
He carried her all of the way. How dare she?
Who does she think she is?
After he kept her last week instead of bringing Kylan, who also said he was not going to take Big D to final 2. So how does that line up?
Yeah.
Okay. But let's all remember that she has not, all she did was win.
All she did.
She did not say, oh, now I might get a choice. I don't know who I'm taking.
She's literally saying, Big D, you're my best friend and I want to sit next to you in the final 2. They have this whole conversation, first of all, that makes no sense to me about who is Big D going to bring to the final 2. Yeah. Who cares? He has no chance to bring anybody. This is after part 2 of the HOH competition has already happened. And for some reason, they're sitting around in the bedroom, I guess because they have literally nothing else to talk about. And so they're talking about who Big D would bring to final 2. Azah's sitting there like, you're my bestie. And I have always said that I would sit next to you in the final 2. So yeah, I was planning to bring you, Big D. And he's there like, Azah, I'm bringing X. Okay. And I'm like, why are we even talking about this? You can't bring Xavier. It's a moot point.
Well, the reason she's bringing it up, I mean, Big D would agree with you. Don't bring it up. He's salty. Don't bring it up. I don't get the choice. Yeah. But she's bringing it up because he is drilling it into her that he carried her. Ugh. She doesn't deserve to be here, and she doesn't deserve to sit in final 2.
Yeah.
And for her to have the choice over him is unfair, and he doesn't like it. And so she's saying, wait a minute, why are you putting this on me when you were never going to take me?
But she is. She is going to take him. And he's saying things like, Azah, I can't bring you because I can't beat you, which is debatable. I think he has a much better chance against Azah than he does against Xavier. But he's saying, I can't sit next to you, Azah. Period. I can't beat you, which is actually not the point. The point is that he's obsessed with Xavier and he made this final 2 and he's going to stick to it, whatever. And Azah's like, I'm actually not thinking about it that way, to be honest. Like, it's just because I love you that I would want to sit next to you. I'm not thinking about who I can beat. That's not how I'm playing this game. And he's just being like so nasty to her for no reason.
I'm glad they showed it.
Yeah.
It was really, really disappointing that he treated her this way. Yeah. But it was also really disappointing that he single-handedly was trying to tank his own game. Like his own game. Yeah. All he had to do was zip it. Not say a gosh darn thing. I don't know. Maybe play the game of Big Brother and actually schmooze with her. Be like, girl, you are my girl. If I'm so happy if you win this and you and I sit together. That's all he had to do.
Do what you've been doing the whole game. All you have set yourself up beautifully, honestly, Derek F, to make it to the final 2 and win $75,000. Yes. With either of these people, I don't understand why you are now absolutely torpedoing your chance with Azah. To the point where they finish this conversation. He comes in at another point, sort of restarts the conversation. And Azah's like, how about we just not? Let's just not talk game the rest of the time. He can't help himself. He keeps talking. Then he's going into the bathroom while Xavier's just trying to shave his head. And he's going off about Azah. And Xavier is like,
I can't.
Maybe you just need to keep your distance, which is also strategic because Xavier's like, let me just talk to Azah.
Don't you worry about it. Why don't y'all not talk? I'll handle it. And he did. I mean, they don't even show how much cuddling Xavier did after this fight started. He was like, he should not talk to you this way. Just because we have a connection. Yeah. How dare he?
And that's the other thing Derek F is so upset about is the cuddling. And it's like, where were you this entire season.
He was
This
busy
has
cuddling
been
with
happening.
Kylan.
Well, I guess so, because he
All
missed
of a sudden,
the fact.
you take away his cuddle buddy.
Yeah. He
He's
missed the fact that Azah been spooning Xavier all season long.
Yeah. Remember when she got rid of Whitney just so she could spoon him?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just like play the game of Big Brother.
Mm-hmm.
This is when you lie and you tell everyone what they want to hear so that they could possibly take you to final 2.
Yeah.
He did not do that. Very disappointing. But you know what? I had a hunch it was all going to be for nothing because odds were Xavier was going to win this part 2. Yeah. So do we get to go to that yet? No, we got to talk to the jury first.
Well, really quickly before we even get to jury, we do get the moment with Azah being like, you know what? I'm going to take Xavier. Like, I'm over it.
Yeah.
She tells Xavier.
Yeah.
And then she tells Big D. And he's like, wow, this is how you were repaying me? I'm like, yeah,
for backpacking him, her the whole season?
For suitcasing her. For briefcasing her this entire season. And he's like, I should have gotten you out last week. It's just like a gross segment, you know? But yes, now we can go to the jury segment.
Let's go to this round table. We've been waiting for it. We want to hear what they're gonna say, and we want to see Kylan walk in. So he's gonna.
Brittany is like, yes, it's Kylan.
She is straight doing a dance. She is celebrating.
Yeah.
Kylan's entrance.
Tiffany, I think, was hoping for Big D.
Yeah.
She was like, wouldn't it be great if it were Derek?
Yeah, she was working with Kylan and wanted him to go far. So I get that. But he's going to come in. They're basically going to say, hey, X wasn't super strategic.
But he didn't need to be.
He didn't make any moves, but he didn't have to.
Yeah. They're basically, I mean, I think, obviously they're thinking about it in the context of he's there with Azah and Big D.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess you don't need huge strategic moves when that's who you've managed to bring with you to the final 3. When you have like the wins and the track record and, you know, the jury management that he does, when you've got all that, maybe you don't need to be the strategic mastermind considering what you're competing against at this point.
But I think even earlier in the season, if you're judging the whole game, he didn't have to as well. He was aligned. He was in an alliance with Kylan and Tiffany and Hannah, but the two of them, Kylan and Tiffany, they were making the strategic moves, and all they had to do was tell Xavier, and he would go along with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. That's fine.
Yeah.
I get it.
Sarah Beth saying, you know, Azah made friends, not moves.
Right.
Like, you know, I guess that's a way of playing the game, because they were trying to kind of give her credit of like, she's been so under the radar. She has not been a target. How has she managed to do that? Like, that's kind of impressive in its own right. And Sarah Beth's like, no, she just built relationships and that's all she did in this game.
Yeah. They called it a very passive play. And I would absolutely agree with that.
But they were like, if she takes out Xavier, different conversation.
Right.
It's the Steve move. You know, like that's the famous example there.
Which at this point we knew she was not going to do that if she got the chance. So that wasn't going to happen.
But the best part, Alyssa calling out Kylan.
Oh, well, that's after they say Big D was carried. They don't have much more to say about Big D. That's that.
They're like, he was backpacked this entire way. So.
But yeah, no, Kylan made a real point that he really wanted this winner to be the best player. And hello, Alyssa was like, what? But there was Hannah sitting next to Big D on the block. So compute.
And he's like, listen, Big D and Hannah, more or less the same to me. Like, Big D's been doing stuff. And Hannah's like, oh, whoa. Hold on. You're telling me that Big D and myself are interchangeable, Kylan? And I mean, she could have really gone after him, but she basically is like, okay.
Well, I think it helped that other people were like, what?
Yeah, right.
And Tiffany's like, that's straight disrespectful.
Yeah.
So I think Hannah was like, okay, I guess I don't have to.
Yeah, I don't have to go in this moment.
But like, what?
Yeah.
I was so grateful that Alyssa, who was only half aware of what was happening in this game,
half at best,
was able to say, Hannah was playing circles around, Big D. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I mean, Alyssa has had the benefit of being in jury for a little bit with a Tiffany, with a Hannah who can like talk up her own game, with the DX, you know, like people who actually kind of understand the game. It's not like Alyssa figured this out on her own.
Well, she did work closely with Hannah that last week. Hannah did some impressive work on Alyssa that last week.
Yeah.
Right before Alyssa left. So she at least had some like perspective that Hannah was playing the game. Whereas, you know, we know what Big D did. We
certainly do. We could list the things on one hand.
On one hand.
But then we go to HOH part 3.
Okay, here we
house guest headliners. This is the one, you know, they give you 3 facts about a house guest and you have to identify which one is false. I prefer this, like, for a long time, it was that comp where it's like, what did they say? Right. And oftentimes it was like, this is a scripted line. Like, how are you supposed to it's a game of luck to like guess what they actually said here. But this is find the incorrect statement. It's a memory comp. Have you memorized the days and the events and all of these things well enough?
I don't know. I feel like I prefer the old style better because I do want these house guests tested on how well they know their fellow house guests.
Yeah.
Just memorizing stats. Like, we've already had several comps where they have to know days and things that have happened over the summer.
Yeah.
But this last one really being like, how well do you know your house guests, or were you just not paying attention?
Yeah.
I like that better.
But I guess my issue with it became that some of those lines that the house guests said were lines that the producers wrote for them. It's not really what the house guests said. Like, they would stand there and they would deliver a scripted line. You know, I do think there were some instances where it was like a good comp because I felt like they did actually say these things. But to me, it felt like it got to this point where the producers were just feeding them lines. Right. And that's not how well you know the house guests. That's guessing what a producer wrote for them. You know, that was my issue with it. But
well, don't overproduce it then.
Hello.
Okay.
I would like to give that note generally about Big Brother currently.
Yes. Couldn't. Yes. Well, unfortunately, right
Britney
here
question.
off of the top,
The Britney question.
Azah's going to fumble the Britney question.
Her best friend.
This girl who she stayed in a back bedroom with for weeks. She was so protective of Britney.
Yeah.
Yet she misses this one question.
One question. She knew it too. That's the thing. And we saw Azah do it the entire competition. This specific comp is overthinking it. She's taking way too long to lock in her answer. She's getting everything right. She knows every answer, but she's like, Xavier puts the letter up and is confident. Azah is taking so much longer, really thinking through everything. And I think that's what got her in this first question, because, you know, when she finally got out there and did her interview with Julie, she was like, I know that Britney was nominated 4 times and not 3. But then I got caught up because of the votes, you know, so she knew her facts, but she overthought the first one. And that was the only one she got wrong. It could have been a tie.
Yeah, I was grateful though, because we have seen Azah get flustered in these type of quiz competitions. And so I was like, oh my God, if she just like misses half of them now, I'm going to be feeling so sad for her.
And we were yelling at her the whole time. We're like, Azah,
lock it in, lock it in.
Put the letter up and leave it.
I feel like we knew about half of them. Not always the same.
She's so generous. She's so generous. Well, I knew maybe 2.
I feel like you knew a few.
But it's hard because, like,
maybe together
we're not studying the names of the comps. You know what I mean? Like, because the one where Hannah like won with a score of 7, I was like, I'm pretty sure Hannah won with a score of 7. And you were like, what? Tell me what that comp was. And I was like, I can't. I just feel like she won with 7. She didn't. She won with 6. That was the incorrect answer. But, you know, they're in that house, like, really going over these things.
Right. Yes, so. They do. And they have to know this stuff. We would be very upset with them if they did not know this stuff. But
I have to say, you know, each house guest had their little theme for whatever their thing was.
Yeah.
Kylan is a one-man show. Sounds like hell. I just have to put that out there.
The
like,
spoken
yikes.
Word. I was like, this is so on the nose. Producers.
No, oh my God. Not going to that one. Not. attending.
Not attending, no. But whatever that DX show might be,
I'll go to that.
I'll check that
little
out.
Thunder from Down Under, Chippendales vibe. I'll just check it out.
You know what? We'll do the research, guys. We'll get back to
We'll let you know.
On that one.
Xavier wins 8-7.
Yeah.
He's so confident the whole time. He just knows those answers.
He did.
He knew that last question that he had it right. He's like holding the finger up before Julie even announces it.
You know, you're hoping that maybe he stumbles too, but he was so solid. Yeah, just for the tension. Like, we don't want to just sail away here, but he did. He sailed away. He had it. He deserved it. He wanted out. Poor Azah did not look happy. She was very disappointed.
Very disappointed because I think she knew.
She knows, yeah. She knew exactly what was happening. And Big D's super excited because he also knows what's happening.
Yeah.
Although he did seem like he was a little nervous here.
Yeah, he did. You know, when we come back and they have to give their speeches to Xavier, DF is like, let's just ride it out. We are so close, Xavier. Let's just ride this out. And I loved Azah's speech when she's like, Xavier, you created the cookout. And I respect that. It's like, yes. Because you know Derek F has been walking around claiming credit for that.
Shots fired. Yeah, she was like, let me just put that dig in there real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing here. I mean, he knows what he's going to do. They have lovely little speeches, but Xavier's going to politely say.
Very politely and emotionless.
With, as a true Taurus would be.
Yeah.
The stoic person that he is.
Yeah.
You must go, Azah.
You must go.
Big D, I will sit next to you.
Yeah. Big D, we walked in together. We're going to walk out together, which means, Azah, you got to go. So she, you know, gets up. She's obviously very disappointed in this moment. Who wouldn't be? But it's not until she's like out the door that Xavier's like, oh, by the way, love you, Azah. She doesn't want to hear that right now.
She's like, yeah, great. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
All right. So we get everyone on the stage. We have all our jurors now.
I have to make a point really quickly about, you know, Azah's interview, whatever. She talks about how she got tripped up on that question.
Yeah.
She admits that she would have taken Xavier. We knew this. Then she says, you know, because I think Julie makes some reference to like, do you really think you had a better shot against Xavier than against Big D? And she's like, you know, I'm just not a money motivated person. And I just want to say, if I go on Big Brother, which I'm not, but if I did, I'm going for the money. I'm going to win $750,000, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I don't understand these people who sit up there like, I'm just here for the game, for the love of the game. No, go to win $500,000. I respect Derek F for talking the whole summer about how he was there for that money, because why wouldn't you be? That's the whole point of going on these shows. I don't want to spend 85 days in a house with people lying and backstabbing just for the fun of it. I want money. Come on.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah. No, please get it off your chest. I've seen a lot of that on Twitter. A lot of people mad that she was going to take Xavier. A lot of people are like, suck it up and win the gosh darn game. Use the money for donate it off. If you don't want the money, donate it. Like, think of the people in your family who might need it.
Yes.
Like, there's a million different reasons to potentially be money oriented. All I can say is I've had a soft spot for Azah since week 1. She is a Sagittarius like although she's way more emotional than I am. I remember in week 2 when she was like, I don't think I'm cut out for this game. She was like, she's a super fan. She loves this game. She watches feeds. She's on BB Twitter. And she thought she could go in and be fierce.
No.
Then she got there and she was like,
I'd actually just rather lay down.
Yeah. She was like, no, this is exhausting and I can't do this. And she at least has been self-aware. I too have been annoyed with people who are like, why am I here? I don't care.
Yeah.
And you're like, then don't take someone's spot. Get the heck out of there.
Right.
But there's something about the self-awareness that allows me to forgive it. But she didn't win the show. So
even if you're
okay,
not money
right?
motivated, don't you just want to win?
Yes.
I know there are some people out there, and I just, you know, I can't relate to that, but they don't have that like competitiveness in them where they like really want to win. I'm there to freaking win. Yeah. I'm telling you, and mostly for that money. That's right. Why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
No, there are people who are very much agreeing with you. I get it. But I love Azah. Okay. Yeah. Where are we?
Azah joins the jury now.
Yeah.
You know, they're screaming. Brittany's like blowing out the microphone system because she loves. I mean, Brittany was cute. She's like, "My queen, I bow to you."
I mean,
like,
Azah was gorgeous.
Yes.
Stunning.
Yeah. Then we get a little Q&A, right?
We do, and I think they were good questions.
We started with a good one because it was Kylan asking Xavier a question, and Kylan, and you can see in Xavier's face right away. He's like,
"Don't talk
really?
To me?
This joke is going to ask me a question?
How about we don't talk?"
So Kylan says, "What is the most important thing to consider as we are about to crown the winner of Big Brother 23?" And Xavier's like, I would crown the person who never made it personal. Played the best game and never insulted anybody and never went there, never hit below the belt. You know what I'm saying, Kylan? That's who I would crown. I was like, oh, this is so good.
I think he's also giving a dig, though, to Big D.
Oh.
Who just spent an entire week taking everything personally.
Yeah.
Who's still getting to sit there. But don't give him the money because he took everything personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say Derek F, of course, took credit for the cookout. I created the cookout, which Sarah and I were talking, and I was like, if we're being fair, did he create the cookout? And then Tiffany was, the architect of the master plan. And Sarah is saying, yes, he did. He was the one who was like, okay, Black people, like, let's get together.
Yeah, he's like, hey, you're Black.
Yeah.
You're Black. We're all Black. Besides that, one thing that Big D did do in this game, that very first week, like those first couple of days, he had an alliance with everybody. He went up. He had a final two with Alyssa, you guys.
Like, he really covered his bases.
He covered his bases. He had so many alliances. What set the cookout apart from the other 14 alliances that Big D had, and maybe could say he created, is that Tiffany put together how this alliance was going to be successful.
Right.
The cookout could have fallen the way of Big D and Alyssa's final two. Like it could have gone all the other ways of the slaughterhouse and whatnot. So yes, he is the one who said, hey, we should support each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I would say, like, generally the vibe of the questions is like, Xavier, what was your biggest mistake? Like, what were some examples of moves you made that we're not even aware of? And then DF is getting questions like, so what did you do?
But what did you do?
Weren't you just there for the fame? It's just not.
That was a dig. Yeah, I felt like Big D had more questions than Xavier had, and they were like, can you just tell us what you might have done in this game?
At all.
But the thing about this position that he's in is he gets to stand up there and say, I created the cookout. I then managed it. And every HOH that was in place, I manipulated them to go after who I wanted to. And no one gets to say anything different. I mean, I think we definitely saw a couple smirks like.
They're kind of like, sure. But it's not like Xavier can sit up there and be like, no, I did. Like, I influenced. Because Xavier was very passive for a lot of the game. So.
But he also did smirk. And he was like, I don't have to say anything to this, right? Like, you guys know that what he's saying isn't true, right? So, I don't know. Like, Xavier was able to say the not personal thing. And I think he said, well, in his speech is really when he was like, these are the comps I won.
Oh, yeah. He had a much better final speech than Derek F. Derek F. was like, I got heart. I played my heart out. I gave it my all. And here I am. I didn't win anything. He did like reiterate that one too many times when he was like, I won nothing. Like, it's like, okay, you don't need to remind everybody. They all know. But Xavier got to stand up there and be like, I won 3 HOHs, 3 vetoes, nominated 5 times. Like, I didn't even think about that, how he was like kind of a comp beast, especially towards the end of the game. But like, on the block so many times as well.
I don't know how you didn't think about that, because he reminded us more than Brittany did. Like, people were so mad that Brittany was like, again. And literally, that's all Xavier could talk about. It was like, dude, first off, you were put on by the roulette. Then you want to veto and put yourself as a third nominee.
True.
Like, stop complaining that you're on the block. But he shaped it nicely in the speech.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, I went up there and here I am winning this game.
Yeah. It was an impressive speech, especially next to what Derek F had to offer.
Yeah, he really didn't have to put much in it, I didn't think, next to Big D. He didn't really have to sell his game. No, Jennifer, you did not miss.
No, you didn't.
Tiffany and Claire did not ask a question, and I
not.
missed having them ask a question.
I'm like, why is Tiffany, the architect of this plan, not getting a chance to ask a question?
Maybe it's because she was like,
she's like, I don't need to.
They just did what I told them to do.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to say.
I have nothing to say. Everybody knows. But then we get to check in with our pre-jurors, right? And there's like props here. Like, Christian is like, the cookout is lit. It's the best alliance of all time. I am honored to even be in their presence. I bow to them. Even Brent was like, Tiffany, you go, girl. I had no idea.
I was about, I think I did say, no, pass Brent.
Yeah.
No. And then I was like, wait, I'm sorry, what? Sir?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Brent. Yes. Brent took his time.
He did. He thought about it.
To talk about how amazing Tiffany was and how he didn't realize while he was in the game what she was doing. That takes a big man. That was very nice of him and very impressive.
Yeah, that was very nice. We do not get anything from Frenchie, Whitney, and Travis. Nice.
I guess the producers asked them what they were going to say, and it was not to support the cookout. So maybe I'm not saying they were going to say anything negative. I'm just saying the producers were like, no, we picked these two.
Yeah, because this is a history-making finale. So we're going to focus on that. But thank you so much for your input, Frenchie, and thanks for playing. Then we get the great segment of like revealing secrets, right?
I just have to say, poor Travis. He was not in the clip show. I think he had one entrance into the DR, and then that was it.
Oh.
And then he doesn't even get to talk. But like, I don't even remember him. He was there for a week, you know?
He didn't do much except for that lap dance for whoever's birthday it was. They keep showing that clip over and over again of Travis shirtless doing a lap dance.
That is what he brought to us. That was his offering. All right. Well, anyway,
Okay.
Where are we?
We hardly knew ye. Then we get house guests revealing their secrets in the DR. Lots of secrets this season. I didn't even realize that so many people were masking their professions and all of these things, but fun to see that.
Yeah, it was like oddly a lot of people just lying about who they were when I didn't really think you had to. But when you put it all together in a segment, it is kind of cute.
It is cute.
Yes, Hannah is super impressive.
Yeah.
Take that.
Yeah.
Yes, Claire is super impressive.
Yeah.
Yes, SB. Hello. I wanted to hear about forensic
and Brittany
science.
with the like quadruple black belt or whatever. And they're like, okay, Brittany. Like, I just love the reactions. These people like really legitimately seem like they're friends. And their reactions are really sweet. In this in this whole montage.
It's so cute. And to imagine like, what? You've been keeping that a secret. That's so good. Yeah. Glenda, thank you so much for the super chat.
You, Glenda. Thank you.
Glenda, we made it. We did it.
85 days.
85.
But then both of the final two have secrets too. Derek F gets to stand up and say, my dad is smoking Joe Frazier. And people are like up out of their chairs. Like, what are you saying right now?
Yep.
And then Xavier's honestly was like a little anticlimactic after that. Like, oh, by the way, because he was like, I am a bartender. And they're like, you don't even know how to make a martini. Like, I'm never hiring you to be a bartender.
He was like, I'm a bartender at weddings. So it's like,
what does that mean though? Like
wine and beer. I
can make a vodka soda.
I can pop open some wine for you.
So he's like, these are all the things I said that were true. But I didn't tell you that I'm a licensed attorney. And Derek F is like, you didn't have to tell me. I knew. And Julie's like, we know you knew. We put it on the show.
We did. We put it on the show. You guys all knew this was barely a secret. Yes, you are an attorney.
Yeah.
I think people were more impressed that he was a college athlete.
Yeah.
That when they were like, oh, yeah. Had they known that, yes, they would have gotten you out earlier.
Really sweet moment with Brittany revealing her secret that she is autistic. And, everybody, of course, is like, we love you. Like, who
Yeah.
cares? That doesn't even matter. Like, thanks for telling us, but like, we love you for you. And that was the whole point.
That
Like,
was
she
the
was
whole
like, I
point.
want you to know me as Brittany, not as like someone who has autism.
Right.
And then Kylan gets an opportunity to apologize to Xavier because things got heated. And it's sort of like a word salad, right? Like, he just can't really form a coherent thought.
That Julie phrased this, well, she sets it up because most people probably don't know this happened. Only those 4 people involved know. She sets it up with, do you regret? Like, do you have anything you'd like to say now that you've like calmed down, looking back?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, don't phrase it that way, because in all of his press interviews, he said, no, I absolutely don't regret it. And here he goes, just tripling down.
Well, if you watch the clip, which I have many times,
I bet you
and
have.
what I said was the thing about the thing was that he did the game, and so what I said was valid, and so no regrets.
Okay. Xavier is literally looking at Big D. Like, he can't even believe that we are in this moment, bringing it up. Like, he doesn't want to look at Kylan. Yeah. He doesn't want to hear it.
Yeah. He's trying to keep things classy. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. And he does say, like, you brought up my nephew.
Yeah. And Julie's like, okay, gentlemen. And I'm like, Julie, why'd you bring it up?
Don't bring it up then.
You opened the door. Xavier's just walking through it. And Xavier's like, I'm not trying to get disrespectful. I'm just saying you brought up my nephew.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why that's relevant.
Kylan, don't worry about it. We'll play the clip back for you later. We'll talk it out.
Right.
It's all, don't worry about it. Okay. I would love for Kylan to explain to me how your opinion about someone's nephew being raised by someone with honor is an objective fact. I just need to understand how that's objective.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Then we get the vote, right?
Yes,
I believe. And
let's get to the vote. Let's get to
this
the
was
vote.
fun. I felt like this part moved quicker.
Yeah.
Like, they're starting their little, soundbite, whatever, the line that they have planned. They're starting it as they walk. They don't wait until they get into the light and land on their mark and then say the thing. Yeah. We're moving along here. Yep. I liked the pacing of this. And for the most part, I think people handled it pretty well. Hannah almost showed us who she voted for. But it was a good.
Yeah, and then Azah almost said it. I vote to evict. Wait, what?
Julie's like, no.
Thank you so much for the super sticker.
Thank you. We appreciate
it. Yeah. Okay. So at this point, you guys, we know Xavier has won the game, right? We knew that as soon as he won part 3.
Yeah.
This is not a surprise. So at this point, I'm just like, how are these votes going to fall?
Is it unanimous?
Because honestly, it needs to be. Mm-hmm. There is no reason for this to not be unanimous. But the way that Kylan was like, there's more things than money or something like that.
And then like Big D live forever. Some comment like that.
Right. I was like, is he a better buddy?
Because that Kylan is the one who would ruin the unanimous vote. Right. Like, that's how this is going to go down.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was possible that Brittany was going to, but then when she was like, I'm voting for the best all-around game, it was clear she was not voting for Big D.
Yeah, right.
Thank you, Books and Quirks, for the super sticker. Thank you. But we got a unanimous vote, you guys. We have not had many. This is not
the third total. Dan Giesling, of course, and then Cody from just last season. So now 2 unanimous votes in a row on the regular Big Brother. I guess I didn't consider Celebrity Big Brother. I don't know. Was Tamar unanimous? She might have been.
I don't even know. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Third unanimous vote on proper US Big Brother, which is very exciting and I think very well deserved for Xavier.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, sitting next to 2 people who you basically brought. You brought.
Yes.
I don't want to say carried or dragged.
Or backpacked.
or backpacked or suitcased or luggaged in any way. But yes, Xavier should win unanimously if he's not sitting next to Kylan, Hannah, or Tiffany.
Yeah.
Seth, thank you for the super chat.
God, we love you, Seth.
Historic season. We do have the best community. Thank you.
That's a fact.
That's because of you guys.
Yes.
Y'all are the best. And wait, we've got more.
One more. Thank you. Another one. Get out of here.
I don't know if I'm supposed to call you the CAC, the CAC.
The SAC? Is that what you were going to say? The SAC.
The CAC.
You tell us. Pronounce it.
Yeah, phonetically put it out, and we will try to do that appropriately.
Now, dare I say it?
Dare you.
More important than Xavier winning the game.
Right. That's right. Here we go.
Is the contest for America's favorite house guest.
Yep.
And we got a dream scenario where we just got the top 2 announced.
Right. That's all we needed.
The top 2.
The top 2?
I don't care who got 3rd place.
I don't.
All I care about is the fact that DX and Tiffany are the top 2 vote getters. They're right next to each other. It's so perfect. We get that great screenshot that everybody has posted on Twitter now of them hugging as the top 2 America's favorite. And like Tiffany's a little bit shocked. I don't know that Derek X is that shocked, because I think he kind of knew.
So modest.
I don't know. Like he got 100 BB bucks, right? Every time in those things. Like I think he knew that he was loved by America. But Tiffany winning, it worked. The campaign was successful.
You guys did that.
So amazing.
You did it. It was so exciting. She got a decent amount of props. I would have liked Tiffany to have gotten more crud, but Julie did bring it up a little bit.
She did.
Brent brought it up.
Yes, thank you, Brent.
We did get some highlights for Tiffany, and then just to seal it off there, Tiffany's going to win America's favorite house guest.
It's so good.
And take home that money.
Take home that money. And I just love that visual at the end of the show where, you know, Julie's giving Tiffany her moment. And then she's like, let's bring Xavier in here. And it's Julie with Tiffany and Xavier on either side of her. And it's just the 3 shot of them. These are the 2 winners. I mean, you know, and Big D got 2nd place, $75,000. Like the fact that those 3 are the faces of this season is incredible. Like it's just so cool. Truly such a history-making season. I know they're like really driving it home, really selling it, but like it really is so cool that this happened.
They did it.
Yeah.
They achieved their goals, and then we get to see it out on stage like that and celebrate them. It really was such a lovely, lovely finale.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
We love you, Mr. Broadway Dork.
You were so happy they didn't announce that. Yep.
It was DF, I think. It was, yeah.
Might have been Hannah, might have been Claire.
Maybe. I think it was DF.
But yes, we need a little humble pie. Absolutely. Yeah. Yay. We couldn't imagine a BB season without you as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, Tim, of course we will.
Hello. We wouldn't miss it.
And then Julie announces that because, you know, they've been locked in a house
I know. They're all like, what? Celebrity's back? Because there was fully an announcement that it was canceled, right?
There was. Like
and now it's renewed.
Yes.
Great. I'm in. Let's do it.
I know. I'm so excited for that. That's February.
Yeah.
So until then, we've got a few other things to do.
We do.
Wrapping up the circle tomorrow. We've got Survivor just started, you guys.
Just started.
We have a lot of Survivor content coming up. And then
tomorrow, right, is episode 2.
Episode 2. David and I will be back tomorrow to recap that one. But we're also, I believe, David, we're going to recap Bachelorette this season.
Hell yeah, we are.
We got a Michelle season coming up, and Michelle is kick arse. So hopefully you guys will join us for that as well.
Please, that's going to be such a good season. I mean, if y'all watched like the Katie season, it's kind of like, let's forget that happened. Michelle is the main event here with the Bachelorette, and that starts October 19th. So we will be back probably on the 20th to start recapping that. Very exciting. Right.
Yes. So of course, make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you have the bell set up so that if anything else pops up, you know about it. You know what I mean?
Yes. Some last minute super chats.
Yes, Jasmine. Sarah and David, the best. Thank you. Thank you for all you do. Big Brother's over, but excited about all of the Survivor content.
Me too.
Exactly.
That's back.
We got it.
Yes.
Yes, and Bachelorette love. I hope that you guys were able to enjoy the season. It really was full of gamers.
Really was. I mean, I can't get over how good the jury was, and it's because exactly what you said, because they're gamers and they just love Big Brother so much. Like,
none of them were bitter that they were outplayed.
Yeah.
They were excited
to be outplayed.
To be outplayed by a historic alliance.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to get that every season. Can you imagine?
No.
Lamar, thank you so much. Lamar. Love the entertainment. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
I'm feeling the love tonight.
Right?
Let's just keep talking about whatever. Let's stay on. I feel like we're wrapping things up and people keep giving it these super chats. I love it.
You guys are so wonderful. We say it all the time, but this is the best community online. You guys are positive. You guys are fun. Yeah. You guys are insightful, and we really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. We love hearing your thoughts. So, if you're not here,
yes, you live people, you know how much we love you. But if you are later, which many of you are, leave us a comment and let us know what you thought about, Tiffany winning, Xavier winning. I don't know what else.
Big D not winning,
I guess.
Azah not winning. I don't know. It's a tough one.
Thoughts on the season, though. We just want to hear how you felt about this. Obviously, we loved it. But we want to hear from you too. So share in the comments.
It's been a while since we honestly loved a season.
We're enthusiastic about it.
We try to stay positive.
Yeah.
But often David and I are like, ugh.
It's hard.
And this year I was like, if this is not a good season, I don't know how much longer I can do this.
I hear y'all out there who were like, this season was the snooze. Like, whatever, like the cookout got what they wanted and they made every move and the moves that they wanted happened. I hear you. That's true. But I was just so excited about the history of this that I still enjoyed watching. There were definitely times where I was like, okay, I kind of get it. Like, I don't need to be watching the feeds all the time and reading all these spoilers because I know it's happening, but it still was just like.
But there was still a ton of game and strategy happening to make sure that everything went their way.
Yeah.
And so if you did think that this season was a snooze, then maybe you prefer a show that is just a bit more like has more fights, right? Like this season didn't have fights. I mean, Tiffany and Big D had a little bit, but like, maybe you just like a different type of show.
Yeah.
Because you gotta like strategy.
Well, I love like swings of power. I think that was missing a little bit because their master plan was too good. Thank you, Tiffany. But overall, we loved this season and it was so fun to just like be invested, honestly, kind of all the way through.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
And even though I loved people like Claire and Azah, I knew that was not gonna work out for them in the end.
Yeah.
And I still could find other things to root for in other people. That's right. I hear the challenge is good for fights.
People do love the challenge for fights. Yes.
All right, you guys, we love you so much. Thank you again. Thank you for the likes on this video. Thank you for the comments and the chat. And don't forget to subscribe because we will be back with more content all year long.
Yeah, starting tomorrow.
We don't go anywhere.
Join us tomorrow.
That's right, you guys. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night.
Bye.